one-way fighting.
Hello, you're free to one-way fighting here with me, Neill Smith. It's Thursday, so we've got the beers out. I've got a guy from the gym that I used to train with back in the day, James the Brawler Bray. Can't say it, mate. James has got amateur and pro fights in his background. He won a title on the night of the Gladiators on Ross Poynton's show. Used to do some good sparring with James and train with him for a long time. So, how you doing, mate? How you getting on?
Brilliant, mate. Same as all of us with this lockdown.
Yeah. How's it going for you?
All right, I'm still getting my training in.
Oh, yeah, what you doing?
Just a bit of pad work, bag work. Get my lad into it now. He's loving it.
How old's he now?
13, mate. See the size of him.
You got a better dig, haven't you?
He has. He's getting there. He's a southpaw, yeah? To his left, man.
Is he, yeah?
He's got a solid left, mate. He's only 2 kilos lighter than me now.
Yeah? What? How tall is he?
About 5'10".
5'10", 13.
Yeah.
Big boy, mate. Big boy.
You're
about 6'1", aren't you?
84 kilos, mate.
What are you, about 6'1"?
Yeah, 6'1", yeah.
He's going to be what? He's going to be touching 6'4" then, I reckon, isn't he?
6'2" at least, yeah, definitely.
6'2", 6'4", I reckon.
Yeah.
It's the way, mate. It's the way. My boys are just shooting up, but they're a lot younger. So, good on him, mate. Good on him. We'll get him on the podcast when he's famous, mate.
That's right, yeah. Be the next little star, man.
Yeah.
Next little Brawler Bray.
So, I was talking to you earlier today, sort of what you wanted to talk about and that, because we don't come on and just wing it like it might look. And we were talking about one fight in particular. It was before you started training in our gym, and you were out of, was it Mad Dog Gym in Wales?
The Pound.
The Pound.
Pound MMA.
Pound MMA. Why do I have a picture of a dog?
I don't know.
I always remember the insignia. It might be like Dog Pound. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, just because it's the Pound, yeah.
Yeah. But so correct me if I'm wrong.
That's when I fought Ben Malone when I was fighting out of that gym.
Yeah, Ben Malone fight was a good fight. I'll put the link for that underneath. So you hit him with the flying knee when that opened up that fight, didn't you?
Cut his chin open with it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you broke his.
I cut his chin, 3 stitches or 4 stitches under his chin with it.
Yeah.
Won the ACB middleweight title as well.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Night.
So you controlled him with top mounts for a long period in that fight, from what I remember.
I took that fight on like literally 6 days' notice because I'd pulled out of it because I'd had a fight about 3 weeks before, which was a kickboxing fight, and I got knocked out really bad, quite a bad knockout. So I'd pulled out of the fight, and then Lee Decker, who was my manager and also the promoter of the show, he'd phoned me up, and he really didn't want me to back out of this fight. So I ended up taking it in the end, on because I'd pulled out, and he convinced me last minute to take it. So my fitness wasn't all there. So I just started dominating where I could,
Yeah. I mean, it was a comprehensive win, that.
Oh, without a doubt, man. It was one-sided, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I remember it. There's quite a lot of blood from that cut under his chin as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was, yeah. Them little small cuts, it bleed a lot, yeah.
Yeah. That's taken us back, what, about 10 years now, isn't it?
10 years ago, definitely, yeah. 28 then.
28. Jesus.
Yeah.
Are you a year older than me, are you?
Yeah, a year older, yeah.
Fucking hell, man. That was good times, that though, mate. But that Pinot fight was a war as well.
Yeah, that's one of the best fights I've been in. by far.
So the Adam Pinnerton fight was the best fight that you've been in?
Yeah, it was a good battle, back and forth, but mostly a pummeling.
Mostly a what?
Pummeling.
Yeah.
It was pretty much a one-side fight, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were hammering him for the good part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Lost in sort of the last minute.
Was it a triangle?
Like
was
about 30 seconds left on the clock. Triangle.
Yeah. I mean, you were bombarding him for like 3 rounds, weren't you, with just bombs? And then he managed to get that off. But hats off to him, he's got some chin.
Yeah, his biggest mistake ever made, though, in that fight, when I mounted him in the first round. On top, dropping down punches. No elbows, obviously, because he's amateur. Solid punches landed. Seen his eyes rolling his head. Turned away to look at the ref, as in to stop the fight. When I turned away, that's when he managed to chuck me off him.
Yeah.
Managed to reverse it, like reverse positions, and lost that position. I'll never make that mistake again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
fair play, because he took some solid punches as well, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that took anything away from you, from that fight. That was like fight of the night that night. And
yeah,
sorry, I was going to say, even though you didn't get the win, everybody was talking about that fight, and everybody wanted to watch you fight again after that.
Oh, there was a huge standing ovation when I walked out the cage, man.
Yeah.
There's about 100 people stood in front of me just clapping.
Well, you can go to...
And that was from Adam's gym as well. All them lads were from Adam's gym, from Sean's gym, from Hammer.
Yeah, they're a good gym at Hammer. Like, they've got a lot of respect for people, like, a lot of time.
Good lads there, a lot of good lads there.
Yeah. But he left Hammer.
Sean used to bring some lads down to Wales as well, years ago, down to the Battle of the Bay. So that's where I met him for the first time.
Yeah. We had Sean on the other week.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it's a good podcast.
Yeah, he's nuts, isn't he?
Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah.
Mad fella. I was just smiling all the way through it, some of his stories and that. You just like,
yeah,
he's just constant, like, just like funny little stories here and there and everything. Loved it. But he was in a similar fight, Pinot, with Mark Hill. I talked about it with, I think it was Clark the other week, and it was always reminiscent of that fight, because Mark Hill caught him with some good ones at the end as well. He's a good mate, Pinot.
Yeah, he rocked him
a lot of time. But Mark Hill as well, he's another one who reminds me of you. He's been in there and had a few battles and that, and it was a good sort of, at that time, around your weight class, there was a good selection of lads who were, if they weren't all fighting at the same time, would have gone on to just win. But because you were all fighting at the same time and you were all handy lads, each one of you were getting the odd loss here and there. Because
it was always up in the air, man.
Because you were all fighting at amateur, but you were all at a high level, like, you know what I mean? It was a good class. Good class.
Yeah. Definitely.
You had the... Who was your mate? Dalton. He was another one.
Dalton.
Tough little lad.
Yeah, he came up and he fought lightweight, didn't he?
Was he at light?
Yeah, lightweight. 70 kilos. Yeah. He's a big lad now, bigger again.
Yeah. Is he still in the Marines, was he?
He joined the Marines, for a while. I believe he's working offshore now.
Yeah, a lot of them do. I've got a couple of mates being in the Marines and they all end up offshore.
But what's crazy is I was talking to Dalton when he was away at the Marines, and he goes, "Yeah, check who's in the bunk next to me." Turns the camera around. Adam's fucking lying on the next bunk.
Adam Pinnerton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was in the Marines.
Both in the Marines at the same time.
Wow. That's crazy.
In the same bunks, man, in the same quarters, you know.
At least he's got someone to roll with while he's out there.
Oh, they were rolling with some good guys as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Some good instructors.
I've had, if you remember from Mushing Gym, or he used to be at Mushing Gym, Adam Lindop. He does all the Sambo and stuff like that, and I've been talking to him about there's another podcast coming out on Saturday or Sunday with them on, that I've already filmed, going through all like the military type drills and stuff like that, and how they drill all the martial arts and stuff. Some of the stuff he knows, mate, is like, you know, about how they did it in Russia and stuff like that. So yeah. I've been watching all the military videos in run up to his podcast for like research, and some of the high level jits and stuff, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that they're doing in the army and the Marines now, just to toughen them up, is good level. Yeah. And the fitness is sky high anyway. Of
course, yeah.
Yeah.
The best, yeah, has to be.
When you say you're doing pad work and that now, mate, what are your plans? Are you going to fight again?
I'm on the fence, mate. I really want to, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I've got my lad bashing on at me to do it as well. So we'll see, eh?
What promotions are you thinking?
I'll start off something small. I've only got a couple of fights left in me anyway, to be honest. Being 38 now.
Thing is, mate, Clark just fought at 49.50.
True.
The thing you've got, if you're on a lower promotion, you've got people like me and yourself who just sort of, you've not done it for a few years, but you get the bug.
Well, that's what I've got, mate. I've really got the bug back here. So I want to have a tune-up fight and then try and get on a bigger promotion.
Yeah, I could see you doing something like best one I ever did was FCC. FCC.
I would jump back at that show now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mate, just the setup backstage and everything.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, I've been to one of their events.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone in and I just said to them I wasn't asked about being paid or not, and then they still came up to me with a little envelope afterwards and stuff like that, and just called their expenses and stuff. He's a good guy, that Adam Tay, who does the show.
That's right.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other good ones around at the minute. We had Jamie Hay on. He was talking about some of the promotions.
Jamie Hay, class lad there.
Yeah, mate, funny as well.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
He had a good win recently.
Yeah. Well, he's got the record on FCC for knocking someone out in 11 seconds.
Has he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play, man.
Rush them in with elbows and knees, and then just stops the lad.
Fair play. I think I watched his last one. I'm not sure if it was his last one. It came up on YouTube the other day, and I think he caught him in a leg lock. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, watched that. Yeah, and he was saying to me, there's rumours about Cage Warriors, and he's 30.
Well, Cage Warriors, that's 35. The one to get onto, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I think there's like rumours, sort of the way he was saying it. It sounded like he was pretty much speaking to them already, and he's 35, so he's only 3 years younger than you.
Correct. Yeah, and I've had 5 years of taking it easy, so my body's rested. It's good to go, you know.
Yeah, you know what, mate? Me and you are similar type of people. Before you have kids, you'll train all week and then you'll have a wild night, unless you're in camp. You know what I mean? If you're in camp, obviously, you're in camp. Yeah. In which case, at the first 3 weeks, I can do that, and then the last 5 are cards.
Yeah,
but it's when you have kids and that, and you've got that responsibility. You sort of leave it a little bit, don't you, when things are like, you know, you've got to put that work in for your sort of money side, your career, whatever it is. And then once you're sort of settled, that's like where, I mean, I keep thinking about it, and I just keep thinking to myself, I'm not even training at the minute. I went back and started doing some boxing just on the pads with some guy in the gym, and I'm so sloppy in comparison to what I used to be. But if you've been hitting the pads regular than that, mate, you're not in that position that I'm in.
I'm at the moment, I'm not fight fit, but I'm much fitter than any average Joe on the street. I could get into a cage now and do 3-minute rounds easily. 4-minute rounds even.
Minutes.
Yeah.
Would you do
just
3-5s?
Build myself up. Huh?
Would you do 3-5s?
Of course I would, man.
Would you win?
I would try at least. I would definitely try, yeah.
Yeah.
Done it before. 10 days notice. Went the distance.
What weight would you go in at now?
I'd never go back to welterweight.
No?
Never.
What, middle?
I'll tell you one thing now, Neil. When I used to cut weight to welterweight, and Clark can tell you this as well, there'd be times before a fight, I would literally be falling asleep. I wouldn't be able to keep my head up.
Yeah.
I was that drained from the cut. So I was coming down from 94, 96 kilos sometimes, down to 77.
That's a lot, mate. That's a lot.
Because
I'm
in and out of salt baths, man, and I had one girl to drag me out of salt baths, mate. A skinny girl, and I was collapsing, man.
Yeah.
Middleweight, definitely.
You see, I'm only 6'3", and that's not particularly big for a heavyweight. You know, but I was just like, fuck the diet. If I'm gonna bang, that's it. Doesn't matter what weight it is. I mean, it was a bit of a
you could definitely make light heavy.
Oh, I could have made middleweight if I wanted.
Yeah.
But I get bigorexia. I always like to be big.
Yeah.
So fucking idiot, really. Ego, mate. Stupid fucking ego. But
you're a big lad, yeah. You're big boned, you know.
Yeah, no,
it's not just the height, is it? You know, because you get some fighters like Carlos Condit. People they're naturally tall as well, 6'1". But look how their bone density is compared to yourself.
Yeah, mate.
You know, you're a much bigger boned lad, yeah.
Good point, that, mate. Good point, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. You'd never make middleweight.
I know. I'd make it, but I'd be lean. I'd make it, like, but I've not been that. The last time I was at weight for middleweight, I was about 14. So
exactly.
What I'm going to do is turn the clock back. But so what you thinking?
I'll come back as a lightweight.
Yeah. So what you thinking, light heavy for yourself?
No, I'd probably go middle. Back to middle.
Middle.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't tell you where the wins were at, but as an amateur, my record was 5 wins, 7 losses. Semi-pro, 3 wins, 1 loss, and then professional, 1 win, 2 losses, and also a kickboxing record as well.
How many kickboxing fights did you have?
Just a couple, mate, you know.
Yeah.
The last one, I was in a big title fight, and it went tits up, mate, you know. I was going in for takedowns and shit, man.
What, in kickboxing, yeah?
Yeah. But it is, you know, I give it a try, but MMA's for me, you know. I do like striking. You know yourself, if you get rock solid, you know, you want to clinch, yeah. You want to catch where you can, you know.
Yeah.
Anywhere you can find the benefit, you want to take it.
The only time I've had that was in FCC where Brent Tierney did me rib cage.
Yeah.
Never really been rocked that bad in the head. I mean, I was saying this on another podcast. I've been hit in the head with a brick once. I stumbled like a bit, like, but not like to the point where I felt like that. even in some serious sparring and some of the intergyms I've done, I've been hit hard, but
Yeah.
I've got this weird head. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I get
Yeah, it's a
punched
blockhead, mate.
what?
It's a blockhead.
Lego head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my ribs, telling you, when Brent Tierney hit that, you never know if the referee
Yeah.
didn't stop it after the made him
I
ribs
remember
out.
that.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
I probably would have got knocked out. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't fear that sort of need to clinch. The reason I went for the takedown in some fights is purely tactically.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think most, well, if you've got a solid chin on you, obviously it works different for you. But I think most people, if they get rocked to the point of seeing stars, you need to clinch. You need to get that recovery time in, even if it's just 5 seconds, and then you disengage.
Yeah.
You know, it can be the difference between getting sparked out and coming back to winning.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean, mate. And don't get me wrong, there'll come a time when that happens to me. But yeah, for me, like I like the stand-up game a lot more than I like the ground. But again, I was when it came to the wrestling, I was a lot better than I showed in the cage. I used to love the wrestling. Like, I used to just go in and dominate. It was good.
Well, we used to do quite a bit of wrestling and sparring as well.
Yeah. Was it you who dislocated me thumb? Well, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. You fell as I was taking you down, but my hand went under your back, didn't it? And then it just popped.
That's right, yeah.
That was it,
popped out, yeah. Yeah.
My hand was like gone up that size, and Ross Poynton was going, just get up. Just get up.
Ross is hardcore, man.
Yeah.
I remember feeling my knee pop out and he shaking his head, looking at me, get up, pussy.
He does.
Right back at it.
He's got that mindset, Ross, like he doesn't give a shit.
Nah, man, he's a cracking lad. He's a good coach. And do you know what? He's a tough lad, man. His record speaks nothing for his skills at all, man.
Yeah, I remember speaking to Ross ages ago, and he said sort of before the UFC, he said, people forget he went to the Ultimate Fighter and he didn't.
I watched them.
Yeah, but his fights before that, he didn't even have a corner for most of them. He was just hitting a bag and banging and then going out on the weekend and fighting and winning.
Yeah, because he is a fighter in the heart. He didn't give a fuck, man.
Yeah. Well, you seen that on the Ultimate Fighter.
He would fight literally anyone.
100%, mate. I know he would. Yeah. I had him on again. You've probably seen it, but
no, I haven't seen that one actually. I'll check it out.
It was the first one we did, and he's quite honest, like you know, when he's talking about everything and that, and he seems to be doing well. He's doing acting now and stuff like that, as well as the gym and the promotion and stuff.
He is, he is doing acting. I was talking to Mike Bisping about that.
Yeah? How do you know Michael Bisping?
Yeah. I went and met him in UFC Nottingham.
Oh,
done a session with him for the day. Yeah.
And what was he like?
Top man. Very down to earth.
He always seems like that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to go up to him and like try and be, oh, Michael Bisping. You don't like that, man. Go up to him as a man and shake his hand. He's got respect for you, yeah?
Yeah. You know what, though? I feel like when you get to, like, sort of that level, you're not a moron. So when people come over and make a big deal, then they think you're a moron.
Of course, yeah.
It's natural to be starstruck, but be quiet about it, you know what I mean? Rather than going over
Don't be giddy like a girl.
Yeah, like, oh my God, it's Michael.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. Nah. Yeah. So, what did he have to say then? What were you talking about Ross, were you?
I was talking about Ross with him. Quite a few things, to be honest. Yeah, we went up there for the full day. It was the opening day of the UFC gym in Nottingham. And I got an invite off the staff there to come up and do a full day training in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
And bit of everything.
Was it just Bisping, or did they have Leon? Have we got one of Daly's in Bellator?
No, they weren't there. I've met Leon Edwards twice, a couple of times actually. Yeah, twice, to be precise. In Bama, when I fought in Bama, I've also fought on a promotion in the Midlands. What's his name? Paul. Do you know Paul Taylor?
Yeah, Paul. He's mates with Martin Ford and that.
Yeah. He had a promotion going. I'm pretty sure it was called Punch Up Promotions. A while ago, about 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, and I had a fight on that. And he was a young lad then, you know, himself. He wasn't famous or anything then the first time I met him.
Yeah, well, it was his last fight, Jeff Munson.
Who, Leon's?
No, Paul. Oh, sorry, I'm talking about Paul Taylor for some reason. Sorry. Oh, you were talking about Leon Edwards as a young lad then? Yeah,
met him at Paul Taylor's show.
God, it's crazy that, mate.
Yeah, I've met a few of them. There's Brad Pickett. I've trained with Hoyce, Daly, and you know.
Yeah, I was there when Daly. That was our gym, wasn't it? Paul Daly come down to.
That's right. Yeah, Nikia. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. Paul.
He had a lot of knowledge, man.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Very technical.
He was just saying, like, it wasn't that he doesn't train his ground game, but he puts 100% emphasis on defending the takedown.
Yeah, it's all about standing up for him.
Yeah. But hence Semtex being his name. But
yeah,
it was interesting, just the fact though that he put that much emphasis on defending the takedown rather than learning the ground game. I mean, he said he obviously understands the ground game, but when we were there with him, he did none of it. He just did defending the takedown, defending the takedown, defending the takedown.
Yeah, the only sort of ground game there was a bit of ground and pound. That was it. Posturing up from guard.
God, yeah. It's what that must be about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember what he was saying about. I remember I'm not going to mention his name because well, you know, people are watching this. Do you remember the big guy, like a couple of inches taller than me? There's a video that was on Kai, and it was one of them. He come and trained a bit, and it was go as hard as you want. I'll go as hard as you. And I was like, yeah. Tip tap, tip tap, tip tap. And then he just tried to welly me. And like, you know what you were saying before, straight on the button. I just looked at him, just walloped him right in the liver, just put him down. And then as they're filming for Paul Daly, and he's like sparring with Clark's son Joe and stuff like that, doing like a little exhibition thing, you can just see this lad walking, holding his liver, goes to the toilet, throwing up, I said to you, go as hard as you want to go, but I'm not going to sit here and have you throw.
I'll let you take my head off. Yeah. I'll try and take my head off.
Crazy.
The amount of times I used to have that sparring with people. I'd say light sparring. Next thing you know, they're trying to take your head off.
Yeah. You know what?
You have to teach them a lesson, don't you, Neil? You have to teach them a lesson, man.
Well, look, listen to this. I had Josh. Do you remember little Josh Doyle?
Yeah.
Last week. And we had the same conversation about my jaw. And he said, the last time I got rocked, James Bray leg kicked me in the head when I was 15.
After the leg kick and straight up to a head kick.
Yeah. So, yeah. He must have hit you too hard, mate. Apparently you tried to KO him.
No. I didn't try and KO him. It was hard sparring with Josh and Jason. because it was so small. You know, they were teenagers. I was a grown man, you know. I was always having to hold back quite a lot, to be honest.
Mate,
And,
if you watch it, that's exactly what
it's
I
hard trying to
say.
spar with people who are scared of you.
Yeah, well, that's another point, innit? You think they're coming in for something and they're hesitant, and then you miss time. And I've got a mate. I'm going to sound like a knobhead in sparring here. I'm not. I'm really not. I had a mate who come in to train with us, and I did like 6 weeks pad work with him. And then the guy I got to come in to spar with him in Seaforth didn't turn up. So I did a bit of sparring with him. And it was literally the first 2 minutes was like, compose. And he was just cover. And I went to throw a body kick, and he literally bent over with his head, and I leg kicked him right to the forehead, shin bone. And it's because what you just said, he was really hesitant, and he was just curling up. And it's sad.
It's so hard, yeah, because it pushes him very amateurish in the way they approach you.
Yeah, mate. I think with Josh and Jason, though, in their defence, they were a lot younger and smaller than you.
They were very young. They hadn't grown. They'd be a different kettle of fish now, of course, completely.
Yeah, Josh is 24.
Because they were skilled lads sparring each other. They were brilliant. But you know what it's like at that age. If you're 16, 17, and next thing you know, you're staring at a 27-year-old who's at his peak condition, and even at 40%, he can drop you.
Yeah.
You know, it puts that fear in your brain. The fight or flight, and unfortunately, most of the time, it was the flight. Without sounding like a cock.
No, you don't, mate. I mean, like, I think both of them would agree with you, being honest. I mean, there's no shame in that when you're like 15 years old. You know what I mean? Fighting a man. Interesting contrast, though. Josh went in and fought Jake Bond at 17 years old, when that Jake Bond was 21 or 24 or something.
Yeah.
Fucking went 3 rounds and controversial decision loss.
Was that the Cage Warriors fight?
No, I think. Well, I don't think it was. I think it was on ice or something like that.
Ice, yeah, the Manchester promotion.
Yeah, I think it was. Don't quote me on it. But I had him on the other week. He's 24 now. It's like a man.
I know. Where's time going, eh?
Old people.
Like a man. He is a man.
Yeah. I'm just always used to thinking of these people from the gym as just like that big, and they're not anymore. Joe's like 6'3".
I seen Joe a couple of years ago, man. And he was like about an inch smaller than me.
Yeah.
And the last time I'd seen him, he was sort of bottom of my chest, about here somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
I have to say, though, I mean, obviously for the viewers who are watching this, you know, we're talking about people from the gym, but these are the young lads in our gym. And the most satisfying thing for me when I was doing some of the coaching there was doing those kids' lessons, just because you do, you know, I imagine it's how teachers feel, like proper teachers. You go and see them in a pub, or you see them out on the road, and you just see them like all grown up and that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we used to pull a lot of these kids to the side, and, you know, we used to train them one-on-one.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were brilliant kids, good fighters as well. We cornered Jason in one fight, didn't we? Me, you and Clark.
Who was that?
Jason.
Yeah, well, Jason
and Josh, both on the same night.
Yeah. Jason did really well. He got his win at Bama and that, and Cage Warriors, didn't he? So
yeah,
good, fair play to the
Bama. That's a loss that still haunts me on Bama. That one.
You see, I never did Bama. Never.
It was 2 weeks after the Budo fight that I done it.
Mm.
I'd been partying for a week.
That's
Took the
problem,
Banner fight after a week.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you said it before a bit, where you'd had one fight, you've got no. Where you were saying about you had one fight, got knocked out, and you said it was a bad knockout. You shouldn't have been fighting 3 weeks later. You have a bad knockout in the UFC, they can ban you up for up to 3 months without a doctor's clearance.
Well, my coach at the time didn't want me to fight. They weren't willing to corner me, which is why I originally pulled out of it. And I actually moved gym. Well, not permanently, but I went to a different gym up in Runcorn, Anne Brindley, and Gary Furnival. Trained with them, and they were good. I've got to be fair, you know.
That was just before you came to us, wasn't it?
Yeah, I came to you guys after the Pino fight, yeah. And they cornered me for that as well, and they were fantastic, you know. They were really good. It's just one of them things, isn't it? You know, you lose fights sometimes, it happens. And just to touch on something, yeah, I used to care too much about my losses.
Mate, did you watch the podcast with me and Clark?
I did, yeah.
Did you hear what I said about it?
Yeah, that's what I was touching on then.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll never forget was the Kev Fryer fight when you went backstage, mate. I've never seen you, and you could tell that you were that passionate about it, that you wanted it that much. I mean, I won't say what happened. Obviously, that was a personal moment for you, but you could just tell how upset you were. And I'd just being I'd walked through and no one else had walked through yet, and just seeing you. And I've got to, you know, say to you, mate, I mean, no one can ever take that away from you. No one can take anything away from you in the fact that you cared that much. You did everything you could, and that you've got to be proud of that, mate. A loss is a loss.
Yeah. I mean, Kev's at Bellator now. He's doing really well. But the hardest part was we were friends, and we've gone into this fight. The fight had been put off a few times because we didn't want to fight each other. And when we eventually did fight each other, it felt more of a sparring session, to be honest. It was hard to get going.
Yeah.
Until I felt a bit of pain. As soon as I felt a bit of pain, right, that's it, I'm in, I'm going. And
that fight,
I think it was a mean left hook I cocked on him that busted his eye open. And as soon as that landed and cut his eye open, he came straight in for the takedown.
You didn't look the same fighter as your other fights in that fight.
No.
You threw so
hard, kick, like I say.
You threw a kick that missed. And I remember thinking, that's not James. What's he doing there? I've seen you hammer people in the cage. And where you'll say, I didn't know how good a friend you were with them.
Yeah, I had no aggression. The thing is, I met Kev on one of the first fights I ever had. And every show I was going to, I was seeing Kev in the same changing room. And we were just getting along really well. Every fight, getting to know each other better and better and better. Talking, exchanging tips, mates on Facebook. And then next thing you know, he's saying he doesn't want to fight me. I'm saying I don't want to fight him. Next thing you know, I get a call off Lee Decker saying he does want to fight me. So I said, right, okay, I want to fight him then. And then we both turned up. And Kev said, oh no, I said I didn't want to fight you. And I was like, well, I originally said the same, but here we are, so let's just get it done.
That's it, mate.
You know, I said, we're going to be mates afterwards. It's, you know. But it was hard to get going. So when I lost, I felt it was a poor account of myself.
It wasn't, mate, right. I didn't realise until I seen you in there, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. I mean, that's not taking anything away from Kev. It was you weren't the same fighter that I'd seen in the last however many fights that we'd either cornered or just gone to watch. But I don't know, you know, if what you're saying was the reason, or if there were other things or what. But it was weird. It was like watching a different person that night. And I'm being honest with you. I'm not taking anything away from you because you went in there. And when I went out the back to see you, and I just seen how emotional you were, I was just like, I'm not going to even say nothing because you know that you'd gone out that night. I mean, we're talking about your other fights where you pounded people and you're just toying around with them. And I was like, he knows I don't need to say nothing. Fucking just, you know, there's nothing to be said, mate. But 100% fucking respected you more for the fact that you cared that much, mate.
Yeah. Two fights have been very emotional. Two hard fights. The next one after that was my first fight back at welterweight against Ant Davis. Do you remember that one?
I wasn't there for that one. I don't think.
No, Clark and Lee, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was. I couldn't make it, could I?
And that was another fight. Actually, I collapsed like 3 times making weight for that fight. And literally half an hour before the fight, Clark was chucking cups of coffee down my throat, trying to get me going, like, you know. I was just so that cut, I'd done it so wrong. I'd fucked it up so bad. And it'd been such a big cut and took so much out of me that when it came to fight night, it actually felt like bedtime. My body felt like lead. My whole body.
What was the walkout to the cage like, if that was how you were feeling?
It was,
did you get the adrenaline?
Very anxious, to be honest. I kept calm, obviously walking out, but I did feel very anxious, which I don't normally feel. I normally come out quite aggressive. I'm like pumped up in my mind and I'm ready to go. I want to grab someone and I want to smash him, get my hands on him. But on that one, it was like I was void of all emotion. I was just so drained.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've not got great experience with the weight cut just because I stayed at heavyweight just to avoid that. Just to avoid it. I could have easily got down to light heavy, easily.
Yeah.
But I thought, no, I don't want to do weight cutting on top of training and working and my social life. And what I had about 4 businesses going at one time, and I was like, I haven't got enough time to be managing my diet as well. So I can't imagine what that's like. But I know when I go out on the walk to the cage, even if it's an inter-gym amateur or whatever, I know that I'm like, this is game time. Irrelevant to what the result is, that's how I feel. If you're going out there anxious, I can't imagine that. That must feel like
that's the only time I've gone out anxious like that. What a surreal feeling, Neil. It wasn't like I was walking out to a fight at all, man. You know, kind of like it's hard to explain.
Is it worry that you're not in the right frame of physical or mental? It
wasn't so much mental. It was, I knew physically my body wasn't there.
Yeah.
I knew that weight cut had gone tits up, and I was so drained, and I hadn't recovered in time. And it just played such a huge factor into walking into the fight that subconsciously my mind must have told myself, you're not going into a fight, don't worry about it, chill, relax. And I was just overly relaxed going into that fight. It was like I say, there was no emotion at all. You know, there was no anger, there was no even thought, to be honest. No game plan in my head. It was just go out and scrap. just get the job done, just go out and fight, just do what you do for a living, just go and do it. And that's the only time I've been out to a fight like that.
That's not healthy for a fighter to be going out in that mindset, mate.
No,
it's not.
I mean,
if you do think about doing it again, you need to think about middleweight at the lowest. I could see you at light heavy.
Light heavy, definitely, yeah.
I could.
Yeah, it's definitely an option.
Because you could still go in quite light at light heavy and be a bit faster.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you've got power. Yeah. That was the one thing everybody always said in the gym, that you've got power.
Yeah, my wrestling, my power and my strikes, my determination, my grit, you know. I never wanted to give in. Never. It doesn't matter if when we were in training, if we were drilling routines, submissions, I was always trying to tap someone out. I didn't care if it was a practice. I didn't care. I wanted someone to tap.
Yeah.
And I expected the same on me. So
yeah,
I know you got to take some percentage off for training, obviously, but it was just part of my passion. I love turning up every day to train, to bang, and to fight, you know.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I used to have this theory. I was talking to Ashley, the guy who does the podcast with us. He used to laugh because when I used to come into work, I was joking with him. At one point, they were calling me the Kimura virus in the gym because I was just doing Kimura. But I was that serious about it. I was at home and I'd put down, this week all I'm doing in the gym is the Kimura. This week all I'm doing is the triangle. This week, because I was always that old Bruce Lee thing. I'd rather do something 1,000 times than do 1,000 different moves. At least I've nailed it then. And like, where you're saying how hard you go, if someone was like, I put them in the same Kimura or the same triangle or the same fucking rear naked 5 times and they were fighting it and getting the escape, I would just go harder and harder and harder until I put that on them. I will find a way to put it on them. And we'd be doing like a free mat, not necessarily training that move. And I would just do them with the same move, bang, bang, bang. And that's how that was my mindset. So it's not odd that you're thinking like that, just go hard in the gym. I think if you want to be, progress, that's
going to be successful. You have to push beyond your limit, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
There's a fine line between being at your peak and overtraining, but you have to train as hard as you can still, you know?
Yeah. I'm on being number 3 here, mate.
Are you? Number 2, me. I'm on to the Carling now.
Oh, yeah. I'm staying with Fosters. I'm only allowed 3. Cheers.
I've got 2, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
So, where you going to train out of if you do decide to? Do you know, or is it just the bug right now, or are you starting to make plans?
There's a bit of both going on at the moment, to be honest. Yeah. The plans are at early stages, very early stages. But for sure, yeah, definitely. I'm not going to say too much for now.
Are you still in North Wales?
Yeah, I am, yeah. But it's this lockdown and just waiting for the shit to finish with this lockdown. And I'm most likely going to go out to Thailand for a bit to do a camp out there.
Yeah.
Do a bit of training out in Thailand. Even if I just go out there for 30 days, you know, get a 30-day visa and going home my Muay Thai.
Well, mate, you're going to get a fucking, I keep swearing.
Ass kicking.
Yeah, have you seen the way they do the pads and that out there and all that? They just throw you about and kick you and knee and then put you in that. Love it.
Yeah, and everyone's slipping on all the sweat everywhere.
Yeah, but you see these little fat Thai pad men and they're just like elbow, and just then, like, why aren't you hitting back? Elbow, and you've done like 50 rounds straight, and you're just crying. I see Ross went out there in the same. What you think about doing your cow or something?
But then,
are you going to do your cow or something?
No, I'm going to do full MMA, but obviously with the main striking being Muay Thai, I'm thinking of going out to Mike Swick's gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good plan, mate.
Even if it's just a couple of weeks, move about maybe.
Yeah, but in a couple of weeks,
get what I can.
Much.
But I'm going to try and avoid just the Muay Thai gyms and stick to the MMA gyms out there. Well,
I was speaking to a lad who went to school with us, and he moved out to Thailand. He's got a bird from Thailand there and all that, and just never came back. I think he was planning to do 6 months, and then he's been there for like 10, 20 years. I don't even think he's come back that much. And at one point, he was making his living doing poker online, and then he worked in a bar being the English Thai boxer. And he's like 5'8" at best. And he was basically just, any drunk people come in, I want to fight him. And it's just a bar all the way around this ring. And they all sit there drinking. And he was just wellying them. And he's got to the point now where he's like an actor out there. He's like this famous sort of actor. Just unbelievable, mate. But that's their attitude towards the sport. Go there down in the pub. You don't have to get in a fight because there's one right in the middle. If you want to have a fight, get in the ring.
That's right, yeah. Did you watch that Geordie podcast?
Oh, True Geordie.
True Geordie, yeah.
I've seen a couple.
Have you seen that one he done with that Scouser?
Which one?
The one who got nicked out in Thailand.
No.
The movie of him. You not seen that one?
No.
Go on, tell me the guy's name now. You're gonna have to watch that because they've done a movie about him. Cracking. He went out there. He was a Thai boxer. Anyway, he got caught going to Burma trying to score smack heroin, and anyway, he didn't get caught for that. They caught him in the end on a mobile phone that wasn't his, and he got sent to prison for years. But while he was inside, he won his freedom through fighting Muay Thai in the prison.
Nice.
He was inside for like a very long time, decades, yeah.
Yeah.
And he got into the Muay Thai. Well, he obviously got into it before he went to prison, but he got into it big time in there and was fighting in there. And you want to watch that film, man. I'm gonna have to message you the details for it, the name, and
send me it, because I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll do is I'll send you the link to the True Geordie podcast. So you watch his podcast first, and then go and watch his movie.
Yeah,
loads
of people talk to me about this podcast. I've seen a couple of things on it. It's all right, but the only thing that really put me off was the more talk. Like, they're all sat there going, Ben Askren's not got a chance against Jake Paul. He's going to kick Ben Askren's ass, and I'm just sort of like, really? You don't even give him a chance, a veteran.
But they do suck on cock, man. Them lot. They're YouTubers. That True Geordie podcast. He went up to do the KSI.
The fight.
Yeah, the other brother. KSI against the other
Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul. That's right. And Jesus Christ, man. The commentary, you'd have thought Muhammad Ali was fighting.
Mate.
Yeah.
That Jake Paul.
They're YouTubers themselves. They're not proper fighters. They're YouTubers themselves. So.
Yeah. He looks like he's got some bits and bobs about him. But you're getting in with someone who's been in the fight game for years. I don't care if it's sport specific. Ben Askren can bang. And they're all going on about the the footage that he's released, you know as well as I do, whenever I was coming up to a fight, I was putting stuff out like just out eating
You put
pies.
your worst out.
I'm taking Gary's ecstasy pills here, and I'm like a week out from fight. I'll be sat at home putting that shit on fucking Facebook for someone to see. I'm not sending them a real fight footage.
Yeah,
Daft.
My old coach, Gaz Storman, from the Pound MMA. Every time I had a fight under him, just before the fight, because you know what changing rooms are like.
Yeah.
Before the fight, you're warming up. People are walking in and out. People are coming in, spying and all sorts. So Gaz, he would always have me on the pads, sloppy as fuck. Don't tan them pads. Don't smash them. Don't let them know you use your fists.
Yeah. Did you send
Don't
your
let them
spying?
see what you've got.
Send your spying, and it's like tongue
my
poke.
spying, yeah.
It's like tongue
I would
poke
go in
the
myself,
concrete.
Yeah. I've turned in my spying. I'd go in myself.
Yeah. No. Mate.
Like I done with that James Darks. I walked in, looked at him on the pads, shook my head at him and said, "That's not going to work, mate," and just walked out.
Oh,
So he was beat before he even got in the cage.
It's one of them, mate. I never really tried to play the mind games and stuff like that. The one time I did, the guy ended up pulling out.
Oh, it happened to me that loads of times. So
Yeah.
Fucking.
I
must have had more pullouts and fights, mate.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is what I've been saying. I think, God, I couldn't even count. I think I've had about 9 pullouts.
Yeah.
9.
Easily. And I've probably had about
I've pulled out
12 plus as well.
I pulled out of 1 fight, and that was through genuine injury. But other than that, now I've been ready for every other one. So it's one of them. You know, it's tough really, because you never know if someone has a genuine reason. But
you can normally tell though.
One guy said he had the flu.
No, that's bollocks, man. Fuck the flu, man.
Flu.
Jesus Christ.
You're mad. You went, it's a bad case of the flu. A bad case of the flu. I could have AIDS, I'd still go in. If you've got like a physical injury, like a bone's broke, or you've overextended something or something like that, yeah, the flu.
Yeah. I mean, I never pulled out of a fight, never. But I've seen it, like when I was on Ross's show, fighting for the title. And I was fighting Keegan Jackaleaves from Wrexham.
Yeah.
And it was a middleweight fight now.
Was that
and
the
guy? Yes, Liquid nightclub, yeah.
I cornered you for that, didn't I?
Yeah, the lad, not that one. The lad turns up and he's 96 kilos for an 84 kilo fight.
What, for middleweight?
For middleweight, yeah, for a title fight as well, right? So the guys, I've told the guy, Ross has told the guy, right, go and get a couple of pounds off. I will fight you anyway. James willing to take the fight. Don't give a fuck. And I've seen the lad and I've said, listen, I'm going to fucking punish you for not making weight. Yeah. And he didn't come back. He went to cut weight and he didn't fucking come back, mate.
One of them, you got to think, if they come in not on weight for either the fact that they've been sloppy or unfit, or that they've thought that they're going to come in overweight and just get away with it and fight you and beat you. He might not come back because he was unfit, or he might come back because he was scared of you telling him that you were going to punish him for it.
Well, Ross found him in the end and said, listen, don't cut any weight. I will pay for your taxi to come back. Don't worry about nothing. Just get here.
I was there.
I'll fight. I said, I will fight you at 96 kilos. I'm going to make you fucking pay, lad.
No, yeah, I was there. They took you into the ring and that, didn't they?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he forfeited the fight.
I remember that. They were going, I'll pay for the taxi to come, and he wouldn't come.
Yeah,
Yeah, because when he said he wasn't coming, when he said he wasn't coming and I didn't have to corner for you, I got fucking smashed. I don't remember the way home.
We all got smashed.
Good night.
Oh,
No
God.
wonder I couldn't
Good
remember
night.
the first.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and he got me in the ring and he gave me the title, and I was defending it at a later date then, wasn't I?
yeah, mate. That it was one of them though. There was nothing you could have done about that.
No.
You
I mean, I
know.
was willing to fight him 8 kilos over. Well, him being 8 kilos over. Which, if you'd done something like that in the UFC or whatever, Jesus Christ, there would
You'd
be
lost
no
your
fight.
purse.
I don't even think they'd have put a fight 8 kilos difference. I don't even think they'd put that fight together.
No. Well, any breach of weight, you lose like a majority of your purse, don't you?
Yeah, I think the more weight you lose, the higher the percentage as well.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that many
And
kilos,
back
mate, you
then,
wouldn't have had a purse.
we were fighting for a few £100, so he'd have been fighting for nothing.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. You know what though? I was making a good living, so I was always, whenever they started like trying to negotiate money and that, I was like, whatever you want to give me, like a dick. But it wasn't why I was doing it. But
No.
it was your career. It was your career. I was doing it for like just because I wanted to fight.
Well, that's
you
how I
wanted to
started
fight
off as well.
and you got paid.
Oh yeah, but because by the end, you know, it wasn't a couple hundred, it was more. And
yeah,
you know, but when I had that fight on Bama, that was actually my last fight before Kerry got cancer.
Yeah.
And then that sidetracked things for a couple of years. We're dealing with that. And just, I don't know, man. I think the passion left for about a year or two. Because we'd had such an emotional time. You know, the cancer had come back twice. My gran had cancer as well. We lost a couple of family members also. It was just a time where I needed to take time out from my family and concentrate on my family for a couple of years. And then I'd been meaning to get back into it. And I just kept on delaying it. And then I got to a point where I was comfy and I didn't really want to go back. Well, I did, but you know what it's like when you get comfy and you get settled, and you know, to go and push yourself every day, all day in the gym.
It's not
when
just
you're
that.
not fully motivated. That's hard going, you know. But I'm at a point now where all that's behind me. Kerry's recovered. I mean, she's doing yoga every day now.
Yeah.
She's into a yoga. And Jaden, he's a good inspiration for me because he likes to come and do it with me as well. And he wants to eventually fight also.
Mate, yeah, I mean, I'd love my boys to follow in and do that, but they're too young at the minute to even talk to them about it. The little boys get the boxing gloves on and that.
I mean, I wouldn't put Jaden in a fight, and I wouldn't even encourage him to fight. It has to be something he wants to do. If he's not interested in it, then I ain't going to push him anywhere near it.
It's a dangerous thing, isn't it?
Well,
because
a lot of fighters do it to the children because they're fighters. You know, they want to push their kids in the same direction. I don't want to do that to Jaden. If he doesn't want to fight, he ain't fighting.
Yeah, because
you'll find another path for Jaden. But if that's what he wants to do, I will be there 100%. We'll get him as far as he can go, man.
Yeah, I mean, if he ever gets into deep waters in a fight and he doesn't want to do it, how do you expect him to fight? So you're doing the right thing, mate. If he pushes it and it's what he wants to do because he looks up to you or he's got a genuine interest in it and he wants to prove something, then yeah. But people who push their kids into doing something that they don't want to do, especially the fight game. I mean, I've been in deep waters and you're fighting yourself to don't tap or something like that. That's hard. And to do it when someone else is pushing you to do it and not having it in your own heart, you're doing the right thing, mate. But I've got a feeling you'll be giving me a ring saying, James fighting, do you want to come down and watch it? And I'll go, yeah, I got a flight. Come and watch it.
I reckon so myself. A couple of years, like, because the interest is there. You know, he's always wanting to bang. So it's just a matter of time, I think.
Yeah. What are you going to put?
But going back to the Ben Askren fight. How do you see this playing out?
Ben Askren.
Decision.
It's 8 rounds.
How many rounds is it? 10 rounds.
8.
8.
See, I think, look, Jake Paul's going to hit thin air for a little bit. They keep saying Ben Askren's got no power. Mate, he's got good head movements, which you don't really see that often. But the fights I've watched him where he has stood up, his head's bobbing constantly. He's a wrestler, so you know yourself, you're always fighting with your hands, so people raise there so you can shoot, get under, get the underhooks and that. So he's going to be constantly putting information out there, head, hands, feet wise, for him to just be put off his game. I think he's going to lunge at Ben Askren. The only thing he needs to do is get a bit more lateral movement, learn how to circle out like a boxer rather than a wrestler, which shouldn't be too hard to cross over. I just feel like
the angles and reset a bit better.
Yeah. Well, he has that when he fought. Who was it? He fought Damian Maia. He had that sort of post and retreat sort of thing. He had his hand out, just sort of keeping. So he has that distance management, and as a wrestler, you've always got to have that anyway. So I feel like he should have the movement and the distance management there. I don't see it being a problem. It's just whether Jake Paul manages to catch him. And I don't think that that's going to happen.
That's the only chance that guy has. The only chance that guy has is catching him in the first couple of rounds. If it goes past the third round, that guy is not knocking him out.
No. Mate,
no chance.
You know what, right? That Nate Robinson fight, I'm giving him too much credit here. He was throwing a couple of jabs, changing level. So it looks like he has been training with someone who's telling him whatever. But I keep seeing people saying stuff like he's knocking sparring partners out, this, that, and the other. Well, you're fighting shitbags then, aren't you? And when you go in and fight someone who's held the one championship belt and the Bellator belt, you're going to find out that someone doesn't get knocked out that easy. This fella took a fucking beating off Robbie fucking Lawler and then fucking choked the prick out. I know Masvidal beat him, but Masvidal hit him with a flying knee.
Flying knee. Listen, we can all be knocked out if that lands. There's not a human alive that could take that.
He'd have knocked alive a building down if he'd have flying knee did that hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was never a chance he was staying awake. It was a good knockout, but it's one fight. I just don't see
one fight, one hit on the button, and it happens.
Mm.
It
depends on Ben Askren on the night, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Hey, did you just hear about Paddy Pimblett?
He's been talking about it on the podcast all week.
Have you?
Yeah, mate.
Right.
Yeah.
I've just seen that today.
I'm desperate to get him on. I've been speaking to people to say, get him on. Speak to him for me.
Get him on, man.
I'm calling you out, Paddy. Come on here.
Paddy, get on this show, lad.
Cage Warriors completed
it. Yeah.
But no,
he's sounding very confident as well. I'm actually looking forward to him.
Yeah. What me and Ashley did was we brought up the rankings at lightweight, and that is a tough division from rank 15 up, mate.
He's I think he's going to compete at featherweight.
Is he?
Yeah. He sees an easier path to the title.
Yeah, mate. Like Kevin Lee was like ranked 13. I was like, he's not easy. Dariush, Benil Dariush, stuff like that. They were all like in like the 10 to 15 bracket, like some like top names. Featherweight would be ideal for him, and that's still not an easy.
Yeah. Well, that lightweight division at the moment is just full of killers, man. Thing
is, though, I could still see him doing something at lightweight. I just feel like he can only fight what's in front of him. So he just needs to get his pedigree for a year or two in featherweight, and then maybe look at going up. Once he's got it.
Definitely got the better fights at featherweight. Definitely.
Yeah, mate.
And if that's where he feels more confident in his mind, then even more, definitely.
Did you watch his last fight? It was comprehensive, mate. Just ran through him.
No one ever. Did he?
Oh, watch it. Watch it. He looks in the best shape he's been in. The most confident, calm and relaxed. And he just, everything he does is just perfect. Bang, 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 bang. Was
that Cage Warriors fight?
Yeah. He's just keeping good distance. The guy tries to rush him. He's back. He puts the pressure back on him. He throws that leg kick, I think. Throws some hands on him on the cage wall. The guy can't take it, so goes for the underhooks. As he gets the underhooks, he throws like it's not quite an Uchimata, but like a little hip toss. Pops him over, puts him on his back. He lands straight in full mount. Goes to throw the ground and pound. The guy gives his back, throws the rear naked in. The fight's done. Lad, you do
not do that to Paddy, turn your back on him, man.
No, mate, he's a killer.
His jiu-jitsu's brilliant, man.
100%, mate, yeah. But he can only fight what's in front of him, and that's what I've been saying all week. Apologies to the listeners if they're watching this and the other ones that I keep repeating that. I just want him to go in, and because he's got a following, that they don't just give him a big fight to start it and try and give him a name. I hope they just give him someone unranked just to get his feet on the ground and just start to make that name globally.
Who do you see a good fight then for him as his debut?
I don't know. I wouldn't put him in on one of the top 15 just to get him in there and just get him a win under his belt on the thing. But it's not our choice, is it? I mean, a featherweight, mate. I mean, apart from the top sort of 7 or 8, I don't see people that I'd just say he's never going to win that. I mean, even the top 8, I'd say you go in there and do it. It's just I've never seen him fight that caliber of fighter. And until he,
it'll be very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, until he gets that chance, he can't prove it otherwise, can he? So
no. Start off with not an easy fight. There is no easy fight in the UFC. But he needs to start off, obviously, like you say, under the top 15. There's no point chucking him into the straight top 15 or top 10.
You know what would be an interesting fight? He's got a fight arranged, but you know Mike Grundy out of Carbon.
Yeah,
he's featherweight, isn't he?
Is he a featherweight? Yeah.
Is he feather or light?
I'm not too sure, but I know exactly who you mean.
Mate, I don't know actually. He might be light.
Tell you.
Yeah, but that'd be I mean, he's Wigan, isn't he? But Wigan sort of scouts it. It'd be a local thing. And to have that on a UK card, it'd be a big fight. But he's got a couple of fights behind him in the UFC.
Yeah. But I think that's what he's going to get anyway. He's not going to get another fella who's never fought in the UFC before. He's going to have to fight someone who's had a couple of fights, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mike's a good wrestler as well, so it'd make for like a stylistic fight in terms of he's got a great ground game, Paddy. I don't know if he is featherweight actually. It's one of them. He looks bigger than he actually is, Mike Grundy. He's got a fight. I've got him on my Facebook here, and he's got a fight coming. Yeah, Mike Grundy. Let's see. It's coming up. Yeah, featherweight bout against Benata.
Featherweight. Yeah.
There you go. I don't know if you can see that properly on there, guys. That's Mike Grundy. So
Yeah,
he's good as well, mate. I mean,
he
anyone.
is. Yeah, he's got some bombs on him as well. Yeah.
Yeah, great wrestling pedigree as well, and that'd be an interesting fight, mate.
Definitely. And Tayl's just been that fight with what's his name, Vittori.
Yeah, it's cancelled, isn't it?
That's just been scrapped, isn't it?
Yeah. If anyone's watching, I've just wrote an article last night on it on our website, onewayfighting.com.
I've yeah.
Yeah. But
Vittori, man, I was looking forward to that one. Really looking forward to it as well. Because a win for Till there, that's a guaranteed title shot.
Yeah, well, Adesanya basically said he wants to fight Till, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his mouth's watering on that matchup.
Could you just imagine it, though? I mean, you've always got the Vegas cards, but I think people like doing the UK. Because if you get like the O2 or Liverpool or Manchester or something, or you get Wembley or something like that, they're just big stadiums and you've got all the British crowd there. And it's always a special one because the Americans have to stay up for it rather than us.
Yeah. Yeah. Occasionally.
On the odd occasion, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it was nice seeing Bisping defend his belts. Was it Wembley? He did it was the Anderson Silva fight, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Wembley, was it?
Was
it London? UFC London?
Yeah.
Fight.
Was it Anderson Silva, that one?
Yeah, the Silva fight was London. He defended his belt against Hendo. Where the fuck was that?
That was America, wasn't it? That was Vegas thing.
No, that was in the UK, man.
Was it? Was that the O2 or something?
Yeah, 100%.
Tough fight, that.
Maybe I'm getting confused now between the Silva fight because the Hendo fight was definitely in the UK. So it might have been the Anderson Silva fight that was in the States.
I could have sworn Silva was over here, but mate, I'm going back a few years.
Unless both of them were.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite UFC moments. I don't know if I could rank it first, but was when he caught Luke Rockhold with that free. Just come right in, just bang, seeing his guard dropping, and like I'd watched it the next morning, and we had a flat out in Seaforth, and I had me little sort of me niece-in-law.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my fiance's sister's kid's niece.
Yeah.
And
I get you.
she was sat there, and I was saying to Roxco, and she's only like 6 or 7. I'm going, is she allowed to watch this? Is Patty, mum's not going to shout at me, is she? And I put it on, and even she was like 6 or 7, 8. John going, come on, Michael. She was calling him Michael, and I was like, yeah.
Yes.
Watching it and just, I was so happy for him after the whole beef with Luke Rockhold and everything. I like Luke Rockhold, but his personality is not the best.
He's a tit, lad. Sounds it right. He's a tit.
Yeah, you sound more Scots than me.
But he's a good lad, yeah. You know, he's a tit, but not a good lad. But you can't deny his fighting skills, no.
No, yeah. The thing was, Michael Bisping caught that dropped hand, didn't he, and just capitalised on it, and he looked better again. Now that's
they've been studying that.
Sorry, mate.
They've been studying that as well. They've seen it on tape.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how he'd not managed to train or heavy spar or overwork similar, and he said he wasn't doing much sparring before it. And that last Max Holloway performance, again, he said he did the same thing, cut out a lot of heavy sparring. It seems to be a theme now. Some of the fighters,
it does, yeah,
who've always been on the cusp, or I mean, Holloway's had the title as well. It's just taken off some of that extra sort of pressure. I mean, like what you said about the weight cut, it's that extra pressure that the fighters have sometimes to just take away their talent in the cage.
That's right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, Holloway for me, he's one of the top at the minute. Like,
Yeah. In my eyes, he didn't lose that fight.
Volkanovski too.
The rematch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very drunk when I watched
Three
it.
rounds to 2. I had it.
Was it? I remember. Ooh, hey, I was 4 or 5 beers in, but yeah, no, I remember thinking it was close. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember thinking whoever they call, I'm not going to argue. I remember thinking it was very close.
Both fights were very close, though, weren't they?
Yeah.
But the second one more closer.
I felt like Brian Ortega was going to beat him, but they postponed the fight now because he's got COVID.
Did you see his last fight, man? The Korean Zombie. He was on fire, man.
He had a beef with the Korean Zombie, didn't he?
Impressive.
Oh, very.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And his translator.
Yeah. Is that just because he's saying what
translator?
Do you reckon the translator was just telling him what he wanted?
He tweeted something and he hadn't tweeted what the Korean Zombie had said. So it was on a fight night and Ortega seen the Korean Zombie with his translators and he's gone up to him and slapped him, man.
Yeah, I remember,
yeah, good. But yeah, going back to the sparring, definitely. These fighters that seem to be pulling something off their sparring seems to be doing wonders for them.
Yeah,
and the lads like the shooter box lads who are known for all out aggressive 100% hardcore sparring. Got some of them now that they fade quite sooner. Thomas Almeida, he used to train in shooter box.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, he's had some good competition lately, though, hasn't he? He's just not been able.
He's a good fighter, but if you seen him on the weekend against, I mean, Sean O'Malley, he's looking bloody fucking phenomenal at the moment. But Thomas Almeida, man, I think his days are done, man.
I think with Sean O'Malley, you just got to see him up against that top echelon now and see if he can replicate what he's doing against the current crop. Because Almeida's not even ranked in the top 15. I mean, Almeida's still a good big name, but that was his fifth loss in a row or 4th loss in a row.
I just don't think he can compete with these lads anymore.
Yeah, each of those names though are like top fellas or up and comers though. I do think you're right. I just feel like he's had a tough run. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know, like when they say Donald Cerrone's over the hill, all the people he's lost against are in like the top 5.
Yeah, he's not over the hill, man. He's just a weathered fighter, you know.
Yeah,
he's still got so much to offer. You know, he's very skilled. He's tough as fuck. He's still got it in him. He still wants to do it. So that's all heart, man. You know, heart, skill, dedication. He's got many wins left in him.
Yeah. Do you get the feeling now? There's not another title running. It's.
There's no point in being cannon fodder. He's got to pick the right fights now.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no title run left in him. He's going to be like Carlos Condit, sort of come back and do sporadic fights every 5 months, 6 months, where he just fights.
Pick fights that are good for him. Yeah, like Carlos Condit, Matt Brown, cracker.
Yeah,
you see that one?
Yeah, he took his liver out, didn't he, with a kick? Was it a kick or I think he took him with a body kick, didn't he, in the liver, Matt Brown?
Yeah.
Well, the Cerrone fight, that was it. And then I saw the Condit Matt Brown fight as well. Mate, Matt Brown's one of my
Yeah.
favourite fighters. Did you see that elbow?
Oh, I still love Matt Brown, man. Yeah.
The elbow he
fucking
did
hell.
on Diego
More.
Sanchez.
Mm,
Oh, right on the back of his head and just dropped him.
yeah.
Lovely. Lovely, mate.
Diego, yeah. What a nutter.
Yeah,
The dream or the nightmare.
mate. What was it? The Gilbert Melendez fight he had? Was it Sanchez Melendez, the crazy one?
He fought, what's his name? That Michel Pereira.
Who?
Where that Michel Pereira. The one, the guy who does all the mad flips and shit.
Oh yeah.
And he took like a disqualification win or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he get an illegal knee. And he was perfectly fine. You could see he was perfectly fine. And he was like, okay, so if I can't continue, do I win? And as soon as the ref said yes, he was like, I can't continue.
Yeah, I mean, that reminds me of the Aljo
Which
thing.
that was, for me, because I seen Diego on the Ultimate Fighter 1. I watched all that shit on Bravo.
Mm.
And watching his career to where he fought BJ Penn, all the likes at welterweight. I mean, he fought all the way from light heavyweight, from Joe Diesel all the way down to featherweight. What a fucking guy, man. What a legend.
Yeah.
And then to see him like lose that, and that trainer he's got now, this fucking numpty. What the fuck, man? He needs to sack that cunt.
Who's he in with now?
Fuck, he's got, I forget his name now. That fucking mad fucking geezer, man. It's into all like mad spiritual shit, but he just ain't training the guy properly, you know? He's like, what's all that shit where they do with the fucking weapons?
What, like
Where
capoeira?
they disarm you and all that shit.
Aikido?
Yeah, that's the one, Aikido, yeah.
Oh, well,
He's
Steven
like teaching
Seagal.
him all that shit, and I'm thinking, what the fuck
Is
are you
he got-
doing? This guy is an
Has he
MMA
got
fighter.
Steven
Someone's
Seagal?
gonna pull a knife on him in the fucking cage, man.
You see,
Fucking hell.
Aikido's got its place, but that's the one Steven Seagal's. He was one of the first Westerners to have a dojo out in Japan. But Aikido was martial arts of the samurai. And the whole point of Aikido is small joint manipulation. So you take people's wrists and hands, and it was the samurai
thumbs,
taking your
etc.
swords and taking your weapons off you. So like you say, that's, if you're trying to break someone's fingers in the cage, they're going to say, just get off his fingers. That's small joint manipulation. You can't do it. So it's not ideal for the cage. They have some good throws and stuff. But again, it's kind of like what they do, the police locks and stuff like that, where they twist your arms and stuff. It's not ideal for MMA because
It doesn't work, mate, at all.
in the
I
street,
gotta be honest, man.
in the streets, I've had times where people are being a bit funny and that, and you can put some of them locks on. You can.
Yeah, and if
you're
you're working on doors as a bouncer,
yeah, but you're dealing with
work as
people
well.
who are not in the game. If I try to put that on doors,
that's
say,
correct.
yeah, he's gonna.
he would just transition straight out of it.
Yeah. But
It doesn't work on, you know.
Aikido's got
works,
its place.
obviously does work to an extent, but just not in the cage.
Yeah, it's got its place, but it's not in MMA.
No. They were making a huge thing of it in China last year. No, not last year, the year before, where they were having all these MMA fighters go and fight these Buddhist monks. But they were just kicking their asses. They were making a mockery out of the monks, you know. And it was quite sad to see, to be honest.
Yeah, they've got the Shaolin monk who's been in there and done a couple of Thai fights and a couple of MMA fights, haven't they? And he's Niles. Did he fight Bakor? The Thai fighter?
Not sure, mate.
I might be wrong in that. But the Shaolin monk guy, he's KO'd a few people. And you see, the problem with them is not so much that they're elusive or evasive. Where they do these Shaolin monk shows and they're doing like one finger press ups, a lot of their training is just punching and hitting themselves. and they're just making smart, tiny, minute little cracks in the bone, and that calcifies, and eventually they just build a solid concrete bone structure. And that's why they can like rest things on their head, and they can, you know, do one finger press ups and stuff. So when you get in there and you try and chin one of them, put it on them, you break your hand on the jaw.
Hey mate, when I was traveling around Cambodia with Jaden, I had a couple of spars with some Cambodians fighting with them. I tell you what, man, I felt a fucking race of people that have such fucking solid fucking bones, man. Yeah. Never seen nothing like it, man. Jesus.
It's not just their training, mate. Their diet's different as well.
And the way of living. I mean, they graft like no other people on the planet, man. You know, they literally do grow up in the mud, yeah. You know, the kids are naked walking the streets. Most of them don't go to school. They live on floating villages, you know, which are basically shacks on a tiny little fucking. Have you seen my photos on Facebook of it?
I've seen a few, yeah. But you know,
well,
you know with their diet, mate. You know, with their diet, even when they're doing stuff like, I know not Cambodia, but more out towards Japan, but that part of the world, even when they're doing stuff like sumo wrestling, they're not sitting there drinking cans of Coke playing Fortnite. They're training while eating bowls of rice. Everything they eat tends to be natural. And Muhammad Ali said it, eat natural foods. Don't, I mean, like, we're all guilty of it. You'll have a chocolate bar, a fizzy pop or whatever, but that's the difference in terms of where you're saying about their bone structure and stuff like that. And they give you the dig, it's like a slab of concrete.
Jesus Christ. They were half the size. I had a guy up to here, right? Okay, I was beating him in sparring. I'm on about the strength of this guy now. They go hunting out there with catapults. We went hunting with them for the day, me and Jaden, and homemade catapults that they've cut from a tree and made their own elastic bands, and you know, they do as many of them elastic bands as you can round it to get it as strong as you can. Me and Jaden, we could only pull it back to about here, right? And that would send the ball bearing well far. But these guys, they were able to pull it all the way back to there. These skinny little lads, man.
Yeah.
And if one of them ball bearings hit you, death, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, killing monkeys with them.
Mate, that's awesome, that.
Strong guys, because just all day, every day, since they were children, that's all they've known. They don't go to school, they graft. They hunt for their food, they fish for the food, you know?
Yeah, mate.
Totally different way of living, man.
You've got kids nowadays who are just, in our country, what's their pastime? Sitting there and crying on Facebook about everything.
Fucking bashing their computers up over
Fortnite, yeah. Shit like that. But
it's ruined the generation of kids, that game.
Mate, yeah. I mean, business-wise, everything's moving online. So it's kind of educating them for what they need to do in life. Problem is, mate, you know, people like me and you, we're going to be a dying breed.
For sure, man.
We're going to be like that granddad that they used to have on Harry Enfield and Chums and all that back in the day, where they're like the old, you know, they're saying the wrong things, the unpolitically correct and all that. And it's a sad state of affairs, really, mate, because the kids are all going to be just computing everything. They'll be watching TV on visors or whatever. It's going to be a different world, lads.
Oh, definitely, yeah. For sure, man.
But
for sure.
Well, look, Jay, mate, I got to talk to you for like another day, but we're pushing on 2 hours here, and I've got to upload this as well.
Wow. Is it gone fast, is it?
Yeah, well, we started about 8 and we're 10 to 10 now, so.
Fucking hell, yeah. Well, before I leave, mate, as soon as...
Sorry, you're breaking up, mate. You were breaking up then, mate.
I was saying, after this lockdown's all finished, I'll be over to Costa Rica to see him. Puerto Rico, sorry.
Puerto Rico, yeah. You won't find me in Costa Rica.
Puerto Rico again, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but same.
no, it's the other side of the fucking world, mate. But yeah, I'll be over to Gran Canaria and I'll come over again, mate. We had a good laugh last time.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is we'll get in the gym next time. We'll have a little roll or something, as long as you're not in camp.
Yeah, we'll have a roll regardless.
Good stuff, mate. Good
Definitely.
stuff. Well, look, everybody, thanks to James Bray for coming on the show tonight. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, tell us if we're talking shit or if we're, talking sense. Guys, the new website is up. It's getting more content day by day. It's onewayfighting.com. The new brand of clothing will be up soon, Full Guard MMA. James, I'm going to send you some free t-shirts, gloves and stuff like that for coming on, mate. They will be out on the site soon. So make sure you go and have a look. Jay, thank you, mate. Much appreciated.
Neil, take care, bro.
You
See you
too.
soon.